welcome back to Then We Cross America Season 2, Episode 9. We are nearing the end of our trip. We are in Sequoia National Park this morning, driving up towards the General Sherman Grove and the Big Tree Museum and the Crystal Cave that we're going to go on a tour of in about an hour and a half. It's a pretty windy road, but not as bad as I had expected, honestly. We just stopped at an overlook where you can look over the Sierras, basically.
Yeah. You can see all the way. There's a cut in the mountains where you can see the big mountain range back near Mount Whitney, basically. So up around 14,000-ish feet above sea level. And the point of the overlook was to show the vast variety of elevations in the park, all the way from 1,500 feet down near where you enter the park, all the way up to 14,000 feet, and kind of highlights some of the difference. They call it biodiversity, but really the different animals, plants, insects that live at the different elevations because of the relative climates.
The cool thing was, as you look around, you can look up to the tree line and you can pick out a couple of the giant sequoias up on the ridge, which is pretty cool, and amongst the pine trees that are up there. So we saw that. We looked at Morrow Rock, which is a big bald rock here in Sequoia National Park. Now we're back in the car, and I'm going to go ahead and stop vlogging right now because I don't want to get car sick and I need to concentrate on the road. So we will talk to you guys in a little bit.
So we're going to get in there in a second, right away. Want to make sure you continue to have a safe trip to the cave and through the cave. From here to the mouth of the cave is another rockfall zone. We don't want to stop there because rocks can hit us. Right in front of the cave, it might look like a great spot to take a picture, but it's also where gravity makes the rocks come straight down. So don't stop right in the front, either before or after the tour, to take your picture. You got to be inside a little bit. You should look up and be able to see the roof, the stone, and not blue sky, because that's where the rocks come from, out of the blue sky, right? So we're going to go in here in a second. We're going to see some amazing natural formations in here. It's natural art, and some things can be 100,000 years old. So we don't want to touch anything as we go through because we can break it, and we can't repair it. We can't make a copy of it or anything like that. So we don't want to touch as we go through. People have touched in the past and broken things. We won't see those today because they're gone. So we don't want to do that to anybody in the future because it's a bummer. We also don't want to touch because as human beings we have oils on our hands. That's how we get fingerprints. If we touch anywhere in here, it remains forever. It's a greased spot on the wall and it keeps things from growing. So it's like you go to see the van go, you can get as close as you want, take a look, but if you put your hand on it, all kinds of stuff will happen. In here it just ruins that spot. What happens is calcite deposits, water deposits calcite, and because water and oil don't mix, wherever we touch, it can't do that. So everything in here feels like stone, or wet stone, or dirty wet stone. If you want to know what that feels like, get overwhelmed. As we go through, you can touch the floor anywhere you want. It's dirty, gross, and feels exactly like everything else, but it won't mess anything up. So if you really want to touch it. Also, to protect all those formations, these artworks, we don't allow any bags inside the cave. Those all get left outside, and that includes selfie sticks and walking sticks. That's to protect the cave. If you have something you absolutely need, like you use a cane all the time, you're going to lose your balance in there, then it's okay. Just watch out. Don't point things out and hit them. Same thing with the bag. If you have a small bag that has a medication that you need and could be in trouble without, of course that's okay to come in. But otherwise, leave them out because it can damage things. Your water's good. We don't want to take any food in. That's another thing. Probably you don't have any hidden pizzas anywhere out here. If you do and it's warm and it has mushrooms, I'll take care of that for you as I come back in. All right?
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin. Begin
it's really amazing.
It's work to see, but it's beautiful. We had to hike down about a half mile, they said. It
Yep.
felt like more than half a mile, but...
It was about a half mile.
Were you tracking it on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we had to hike down the side of a mountain. It was pretty steep. And the cave had hills and like ups and downs in it. We call them hills. It's inside of the cave. There was inclines and declines throughout the tour. But it was really gorgeous. It looked like, parts of it looked like fresh fallen snow.
Yeah, it's
And
really incredible.
It glistened and really was crystally, I guess. It was really cool. If you get the opportunity, I definitely recommend it.
If you get the opportunity, they recommend that you bring a light jacket. And I have to be honest, yeah, unless you're really sensitive to cold, the hike down, even though it's downhill, it's going to warm you up. It's going to get blood flowing a little bit. Not bad, but you'll be warm.
And the cave is, they say, 50 degrees year round, but you're shoved in there with 50 other human beings in these little rooms.
Yeah.
So...
by the end, you'll be cool, and you'll be glad for that because you're about to go back out into the sun.
Yeah, and so we have to hike back up the side of this mountain. We're anticipating it taking like an hour or more because we definitely want to take it slow because it is steep. They say it's strenuous, and they're not kidding.
Yeah, they're really not.
But you could do it. Just take your time and relax, and you definitely can do it. There was a young man on our tour with Down syndrome, and he made it all the way down, and he started the hike back up again. He's probably going to beat us. And that with Down syndrome, you can have some mobility issues, and you could tell he wasn't super steady on his feet. They let him bring a walking stick into the tour when most people aren't allowed because it was his need. But if he can do it, most likely you can do it. So I definitely recommend giving it a shot and taking your time with the hike down and back up again. So I'm going to insert a montage of the Crystal Cave tour, followed by a montage, maybe, a montage of us hike back up this cliff. It's probably going to look beautiful and lovely. I'm going to put some nice music, but know that we're in agony. And if there is no montage of that, it's because we were in too much agony to film anything on the way up.
Yeah, we filmed this part of the vlog before we did the hike up intentionally so that it was still worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, we might come back and we'll be in another truck section of the vlog and be like, don't do it. Don't even bother. The hike's too bad.
I don't think that'll happen, but we'll just not tell you how bad it was.
Yeah, seriously. All right, wish us luck. Hope if you see this video, it means we lived to the top.
Or they found our camera and, you know, posted it online for us.
Yeah, seriously.
This morning has so clear a light as any to see the horizon and the far. Excuses were two for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face, all that ever was is a wreck. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow.
We survived!
We made it. It took us a long time, like an hour to hike up it.
Almost an hour.
Yeah, which sounds like a long time to go half a mile, but it was really, really steep. Like, it was straight uphill, and we took our time, and I think that that's the way to do it because there were people passing us who were from the tour behind us, so they were 30 minutes behind us, but they were like crying, like full-grown adults, like almost in tears because they were hoofing up this side of this mountain. And you know what? We enjoyed our walk up.
Yeah.
We had a good time. We stopped and relaxed a lot. I don't think I took more than 100 consecutive steps without taking a break. And it was great. And we made it. I mean, it was hard on our lungs.
We climbed almost 300 feet in elevation according to my Apple Watch.
Yeah, 300 feet over the course of a half a mile is pretty damn steep.
Yeah.
But we did it. And, whoa, we got to the top. And we got our stamp for the area, which we totally earned. So if you don't know what we're talking about when we say we got our stamp, we have a national parks passport. You can get them at any national parks gift shop or national park, not one of the big 60, but like any national park site at their gift shop, and you can also get them online. And so there's a few different ones, and we got, I'm gonna just vlog me because I need to switch my arms. We got the big heavy duty one with like so much space in it.
It's called the Explorer, I believe.
But you can get like little ones, you can get medium sized ones. The big ones, like we don't see at very many parks, so you can get a small one if you're at a park. You can order the one we have online. But anyways, we got the stamp, and we were talking to the ranger a little bit, and we were talking about Sequoia and Kings Canyon, because we just came from the northern part of Sequoia National Park, which is right up against Kings Canyon. If you've been watching this series, you know that they're very intermingled up there. And so we were talking to a ranger, and she was saying, or she might have been a staff member for the Parks Conservancy, which is a separate organization that helps to protect the park.
She was the Crystal Cave manager.
She was the Crystal Cave manager, that's who she was. Her name was Rebecca. So we were talking to her for a little bit, and we were talking about, oh, this road is so bumpy. We were talking about it's a little bit confusing up there, and she mentioned that the parks are very intermingled. They used to be very separated, and then just as time has gone by, the parks board boundary lines have expanded, and then they have like fused together up there. And she said that they actually have one superintendent. There are two separate national parks, but they have one superintendent, which is really interesting. And we were actually talking about this either in a podcast or the vlog. I don't remember which, a few days ago. So if you've been following both the vlog and the podcast and you heard us talking about that, that's the answer. They have one superintendent. But now we are headed back down the mountain, or sorry. It's a very narrow road and someone was coming towards us. We're headed back down to where we started, and then we're going to head over to the visitor center and to the museum, and then do some more sequoias. And with all of that, that might be the end of our day.
Tomorrow, there's no time to borrow today. Well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow. There's no time to borrow. It's a good